What's going on, peeps? Welcome to the Other Coast Gaming Podcast. I am your notoriously black co-host, D-Train. And next to me is the Puerto Rican Papi, Absolute Centron.
Hello, good sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. What's going on?
Today's Monday, so I'm just looking forward to recording because that's the only thing I have to look forward to on a Monday.
Yeah, Monday is Trinity Dash. Today we had a little snowstorm last night, so we had a 2-hour delay at work, and then our main office didn't come in until noon. So, needless to say, with a weekend's worth of work and shit fucking up and no one being in until noon, it made for a hectic day.
But without further ado, let's get to the shits. So we wanted to do an impressions video on J-Stars Psych Jump Force. We just wanted to go over some thoughts and impressions and just give you an informed opinion on whether you should purchase this game or not, or what's really the details behind it. So as you can see right now, we got my created character there. His name is Noctalo. A mixture between Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 and Piccolo, the great Namek of the North. And I don't know how you felt about the character creator, but I thought it was good. Could have been better, but the hairstyles I think really did it, because there was like Kuwabara's hairstyle. There was like mad people's hair. Obviously, this is that's Noctis. Like it looks just like Noctis. A lot of cool. Like I was able to make a bunch of really random characters that I enjoyed personally. I liked mine. Before you even start, explain your guy to them.
My guy is... His name is Afro Urameshi, which is fucking super hard if you think about it. That's some New York shit.
Well, explain your character. That is going to be really funny because I know your character.
Okay, so first things first, let me start off by saying, as a black person, no video game has a good character design to you if you're trying to make a black person, because all they give you is the racist stereotype shit. And then you're either like, in this game, for example, like a little kid.
Give you an afro too. It's like, we got to represent the black community. Let's give them a do-rag and an afro.
It's like crazy hairstyles, hair spiky, all this fucking wild shit. Not even a fucking dreadlock in sight. Just a fucking afro. So my guy has an afro, a chin strap, because clearly no one in anime has a fucking full beard. I was actually just running that back thinking about it. Like, there's not that many anime characters with a full beard, I feel
Master Roshi.
He's even got a goatee.
No, he's got a beard. They got the.
Yeah, I mean, I consider a goatee and a beard different. I'm talking full burly man beard, like you and I got. Hercule, I think, had kind of like a goatee.
Hercule, I think he had just a biker thing.
Oh, he just had the handlebars.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna think about that this whole podcast. And
definitely do that. Drop some names in the comments if you guys know any anime characters with the full on beard. GIFs, images, I don't care. Drop it. But yeah, so I have like chin strap goatee combo. My guy is like black and he stands like I like how they stand in this game. Like he's just like kind of like his chest is out, but like his arms are back, so he's just kind of like standing there like lanky. And right now I changed his outfit up. He has on a black hoodie, an orange pants, like the orange Dragon Ball Z pants, and the Piccolo shoes in black, and he's got a halo and a Majin Buu sign on his forehead.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I made him kind of look like a prisoner a little bit.
whatever.
It was just funny, but like, yeah, the character select, there's just not really a lot of black options, so it is what it is to my brothers out there.
So right now what you're looking at is my character running around to each section of the game. So this is obviously One Piece's little section. There's three leaders pretty much. So you have Naruto leading one, Goku leading one, and Luffy. Right? His name's Luffy?
Yeah.
Luffy doing another one. And then so obviously it's weird, but I'm riding a frog. You can pick a scooter. I don't know if you just saw that right to your left. That guy, what he was riding in, that is a scooter from like the old school Dragon Ball. And then I forget there's one more, but I'm having
there's a boat.
Yes, there is. And then there's also, if you remember from back in the day, Frieza, how you used to ride around in that little ship thing. I just saw it real quick. That's in that, but I believe that was like a pre-order only type of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right there. You could see it right in front of me, right there. Yep. So, I mean, like, pretty cool. I mean, they had to do that because if you ever try to run through this thing, it takes 9 years. Kind of getting into something I really didn't like about the game was really I thought that space was very underused. Like, it just was big for no reason. Pause. And just, like, what were you supposed to do in that whole thing? Like, I really barely ever went anywhere but the missions.
I feel that.
Missions, and then to that guy I showed back earlier, there was that dude that looked super creepy with the bald head. That was where I was. That's where like the main missions really go, like the main story missions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go up into where I was just at, and that's where you get the side missions and or like there's like key missions, and then there's like side missions. Both of them are pretty meaningless, to be honest with you. So this right here is just a random mission I picked. I picked my man Yusuke because shout out to Yu Hakusho, and it was really just a very like you get basically this type of dialogue. Obviously you could see by their animations and lack of blinking, it's very just, I don't know, robotic, I guess. I don't know really what to call it, but it's not good, obviously. And this is like the level of like depth you're gonna get from a normal story mission. So what I've found is that you'd play like a bunch of side missions and you'd have like one quote unquote good mission, and then you do a bunch of side meaningless missions that mean nothing. And you know, as a whole, we really feel that it's just a variation of J-Stars, where we were kind of hoping like a J-Stars mixed with, and if you're not familiar with J-Stars, J-Star was a game that I believe was originally on the PS2 and then went to the PS3, or originally was an arcade, some weird shit like that. But they released it and we were able to buy it on PlayStation 4 and we both played it and really loved it, but still had a lot of these same problems. Story mode was really stupid. The fighting was not the best, you know, so different things it improved on, different things it did not do anything differently between the two. But from this game, it just seems like a much better, not much better, a slightly better J-Stars, but J-Stars to us was never like a $60 game. It was definitely something that was like a budget thing, you know? Like I got mine for $7 and I was really happy with that. So right now you just saw like a random fight scene, a random cut scene. That's probably the extent of something you're going to get. And then now there's the missions themselves. So this one you've seen a lot from the marketing material when the game was first released. It's New York City, it's Times Square. It looks cool. Like a lot of these things look really, really cool. Like obviously they're supers. You could see one right now where she just caught me with one. And she looks awesome. But it's really just combo, square, 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 maybe throwing a triangle, triangle. And then you're just trying to really get your supers off. And that's pretty much all the combat you got.
Yeah, and we wanted to make it a point not to just, you know, shit on the game the whole time, because there was definitely like some cool stuff. Like their supers obviously were cool. The fact that I got to create a character this time around was really cool. That was something that I couldn't do in J-Stars. But this is what happens. You run into a shortage of things that you like about the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, as you can see from just the gameplay video, you're seeing tons of loading screens. And the problem with loading screens is not necessarily, like, what happens, right? Like, loading screens can be good loading screens or bad loading screens. To me, it doesn't really matter. What's important is two things. One, how long they are. And two, what you had a cutscene for or a loading screen for was worth it. So if I get bullshit meaningless story and then it's a loading
where
screen,
my character doesn't even, his mouth doesn't move, like,
oh, you'll see that. I made sure to capture that where it's just like really awkward. But besides that, like, so is the cutscene or whatever I'm looking at worth it? Was that right there worth the amount of, you know, wait time this is? And most of the time, I mean, a good 98% of the time in Jump Force, I keep on wanting to call it J-Stars, by the way, because it's so much like J-Stars, but Jump Force just felt that way to me entirely. Where 90% of the cutscenes, I mean, dialogue, dude, I'm straight skipping. I don't even want to fucking read it. It's stupid. It's meaningless. The characters, you can tell the people writing it didn't even know the characters they were writing about. I brought up a point to Darius before the mics were on. But basically, Gaara at this point is like Shippuden Naruto. He's not like Naruto. So Gaara is like talking about killing people and shit, and I'm like, at this point in the game where he was at as a character, he wasn't on that type of time.
Yeah, I noticed that about some of the characters. Like even some of the characters, like fighting style was like very different than like how they actually fought in the anime. Like Yusuke was one of the biggest ones that I noticed that on, because like just his fighting style was like just mad like geared toward when he first started like fighting, it felt like, because like he didn't have really like the good combos or anything like that. Like it was hard to string together like a move with him. He just had like, it felt like heavy style moves, and it was just weird. Like he was never like, there was scenes where he was like fucking people up with like the Thousand Fist Fury type shit.
Real quick, just to point this out, so you see how all the characters, and they have your character with just a blank silhouette that means absolutely nothing. How awesome would that have been to have your picture being up there? But they just don't do that, which is mediocre, and it's lazy, honestly. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, it's cool because it's also lazy that they don't give you like your character any lines. Like
you'll see that. Wait, see, as soon as this loads up, you're gonna see exactly what he's talking about. Where,
and this is another problem. Again, it's still loading after we've been talking and rambling for the past
12 minutes, pretty much.
You know.
So look, so they have. Oh, I skipped it. No, I didn't.
So you stand there awkwardly, saying nothing. This person responds to you as if you said something, but you never said anything. Like the banter isn't good. What they're saying.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's non-existent between what you're saying. So it's like, you know, it's like you almost like you're not encouraged to use your character. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, to talk a little bit, like I said, that this is another. I don't have a problem with the environments. I don't really have a problem with how the game looks at all. I just have a problem with the combat. It was just very boring, bro. After a while, you're just smacking people around, and it's like,
yeah, I got tired of doing the missions. Like it just became cumbersome at that point. Like it's just, I have to do the missions now, otherwise my guy's not gonna be strong enough to do the stuff. But
yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, so we've talked about this, you know, a good amount of negative, but like, look at this look at that shit is beautiful.
It just astounds me that like they work so hard on just that element of it. And like they do good supers. Some of them don't mesh really well, but they do good supers.
That's a lot of these games. I mean, My Hero, that game was all supers. That game was, I didn't like that game at all. And I felt like that game, I don't know, was kind of very similar to this. I just feel like Bandai as a publisher, like, I don't know how much they are really involved as far as development is concerned, but a lot of their games just are very flashy. They're almost like a really nice car that has a really shitty engine. Like it looks real nice and like, man, that looks really cool, and you can take pictures and watch it drive, but like it just runs like shit.
Remember Pimp My Ride from back in the day? That's exactly what it was like. Fucking taking those piece of shit fucking buckets and turning them looking cool for a little bit on the outside.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really disappointed by them. I don't like, for a company that made and did a lot of work with, I know it's mostly CyberConnect as far as like the Ninja Storm, Ninja Storm series. They could do so much better than this. And why aren't like teams talking to each other? Like they didn't learn anything from this. Like
it's just
because this is fucking J-Stars.
It's just like it's just, you just go down the rabbit hole of things that are just subpar. Because like we played J-Stars and we played J-Stars a lot. I played J-Stars a lot as a person.
I beat it. I played a lot too. You played definitely more. Bro.
The character list isn't anywhere comparable. Like they're probably gonna try to DLC us to death with, oh, you can get these people. And like if I had J-Stars and they did a pack with like the Yu Yu Hakusho characters, like I would probably buy that because number one, I want to play with those characters, but the rest of them aren't just the most exciting characters that I want to play with, I feel like.
Yeah, so let's talk about the roster. So the roster, Darius and I were talking about. Darius doesn't really like the roster. I'm okay with it. Some misses. I feel like they could have included some more people, but for me, I'm not too upset about them. What was some of the ones that you felt should have been there?
This could be just personal bias speaking, but like I am a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, so I wanted at least like one more character. I thought they would have kept it the same as the last game. So they had last game Yusuke, Toguro, and Hiei. So I was looking forward to playing as Hiei because he was in the last one. I figured they would kind of keep it similar tier, similar pace or whatever.
I thought they were going to include him as well.
He wasn't there. Who else did they have in there?
We're about to...
I was okay with Piccolo. Like, I didn't necessarily need Piccolo. You're more of like a Piccolo fan than I.
Piccolo's a go. You gotta have Piccolo on this shit.
But I was okay.
So this is right here. This is like a list of the characters. So we got one character from My Hero. We got Black Clover, and they kind of just go through the list. I mean, I forget that one. But,
of just some like one-off characters. Like Cintron and I were talking before the pod started, like, and y'all could drop a comment about this in the comments for real. Do y'all feel like My Hero is substantial enough in the culture to have warranted more than Deku? Do you think All Might could have been an addition into the game? Like,
definitely. I think I was surprised they didn't have anybody really except him.
Just him, really? Like, that's kind of
Rumor
and
has
they have some people with some cool powers in that.
One Piece, even though I'm not really like the biggest fan, they definitely had to put a lot of them in there. So
they didn't even have the guy from one of the main guys from there. The guy was with the gun, like the pistols or whatever, that has his shirt off and the cowboy hat. What the fuck is that guy's name? I don't watch One Piece, so y'all could drop that in the comments too. But they didn't have him.
He looks fun. I was playing as him. He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
he's really cool. And then they got this chick with the big old tiggies.
Oh, and then they don't let you play as Light.
Well, here's another thing that we forgot to mention. They, in the story mode, which is absolutely terrible, they have him there, Ryuk, and they don't give him audio. Like, you don't hear his voice. And it's been a long time, and there still hasn't been a patch to it. So I don't know if they really made this game, used this motherfucker for the marketing, and then didn't put him in the game, like, as far as, like, voice is concerned. And, like, I thought, like, well, you can't see the demon, but, like, your main character can totally see the demon. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know, dude. I mean, that's pretty terrible. I personally would have liked more Bleach characters. Mm-hmm. I would have liked Grimjaw. He's fucking awesome. I would have liked Zambachi, the dude with the bells on his head. Mm-hmm. He's fucking sweet. The Fist of the North Star people are fucking awesome. And that one dude with the blazer, he is really cool. I don't like what they did with the Bleach characters. I don't like the way they look. He looks awesome. I don't like his super at all. It's really stupid, and they could have went really hard because he had the long super with like the fucking like the wooden blocks.
I was happy with her. Rukia
she looks cool, and then Aizen's cool, but Aizen just looks cool. I don't know where they got these suits from, man. I have no idea about that. Hunter x Hunter shit.
So like Hunter x Hunter only got 2 characters. Like,
yeah, that could have definitely got.
They could have definitely got another.
Yeah, that guy is fucking awesome too. He has like a demon. This guy's crazy too. And then, yeah, so they got Yusuke, they got Toguro, and that's it. So not the greatest. And then, but they got, at least they put our man Rurouni Kenshin in.
Yeah, they got Rurouni Kenshin being in was really cool.
Right, his dude. You know,
Yuya being in it was really cool.
You know what
honestly.
I really wanted the other dude, I forget his name, but the one who had the huge sword from Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh my god. Guy's name.
Yeah, I forgot his, but that was awesome. So yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much cover as much as we had. So where do we end up as far as pricing is concerned for this? Where we wanted to be? So for me personally, and I think you and me can agree on this, Darius, is that this is not a $60 game.
Hell the fuck no.
This is a game that's a very, very specific game. Do you like anime a lot? Because you have no connection to these characters, there's so many better fighting games to play. So you have to be really obsessed with these characters. You have to not mind a very the story's terrible. It's not good. You will miss nothing if you play it. The only thing it gives you is content to play. But I think there's a lot of fun to be had. I mean, I know I've talked like pretty harsh about it, but I did enjoy what I was playing. I just felt like there was better things to play personally, and I didn't want to spend my time playing this one anymore, but I enjoyed my time with it. If someone had it, I would totally jump on the sticks and play it. And I think if you can get it on a good deal, you know, whatever that number means to you, I think you'd have a lot of fun. This is a fun game to play with other people, like most fighting games. But to me, that's not enough to give $60 for sure.
Definitely not enough to give $60 for. This game, to anyone listening out there, is not worth $60. You could buy something infinitely better than this game. Any fighting game. Dragon Ball FighterZ is on sale right now for like $23 on PSN. And it is 1,000 times better than this game. With that being said, if I had to put like an actual dollar, like a number on it.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I wouldn't do that. Because it really depends on you.
I think I could. Like, I don't think I would pay more than $25 for this. I would wait for it to go up to $25. It would easily go down to there. They would throw this on PSN for free easily. You could even wait till that. This would be a nice second game of a month.
Well, no, I mean, even that. I mean, people can. You can make the argument that it's 30 if these are your favorite characters. I think money is subjective to what you want to spend on it, but I think if you know what you're getting into, you're getting a mediocre story. You're really getting a party game that you want to just see your favorite characters drop crazy ass supers. How much does that mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair thing. So we would definitely give it a rent/sale is what we do. So we usually do, for us, if you're not familiar, we do purchase, rent, sell, completely pass. I don't think it's completely passed for me.
Nah, it's still really fun seeing if you have that anime niche, like seeing your favorites do some supers and get some shit off is really cool. Yusuke turns into the fucking demon form, which I fucking love. Like, that's awesome. So like, there is certain shit that's really cool about the game. Definitely not a hard pass, but definitely don't full on buy that.
Cool. So that's all we got for you. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave a comment below. Tell somebody about it. And we just, we're doing it for you guys. We just want to make sure that you're making the right decisions, and we don't want, we pay for all these games. These are all like unbiased reviews. We just want to make sure that you guys are informed and you make the purchases and spend your money on really good games instead of, mediocre games.
That's a fact. As we say in New York, we fucks with y'all, so we don't want y'all to waste y'all bread on some bullshit. And that's real. Hit us up on Twitter at @the_other coast. It's the other coast, bitches.